Welcome back to our YouTube channel, Estate Sale Homes Northwest. I'm Emily Cressey, a local real estate agent, and on this channel, we talk about things related to selling estate properties, whether your parents are alive or they've died or it's another important family member. We're speaking to heirs, children, family members who are dealing with the disposal of these assets. Our topic today is what to do with all of those things that are left in the home. We call it personal property, but when someone dies, typically they have a home full of stuff. So today we're going to be talking about what do you do with all of that stuff and how can you get rid of it in a way that's respectful, it honors it, and also doesn't take over your life. Now, whether your family members, we're going to just say parents here for ease of use, are alive or dead, you're going to face many similar issues as you go through their home and their personal effects to decide what to save, what to keep, what to get rid of. If they're downsizing out of their family home, maybe into a condominium or assisted living, sometimes they'll be there to help you and sometimes they won't. They may have dementia, they may have broken a hip or taken a fall, they may be in a situation where they're not physically capable to come back to the home and they're not really physically or mentally capable of helping you. So a lot of times you may find yourself in a situation where you're having to handle this yourself. Now, the first thing I want to do, because I'm just that type A organized person, is I'm going to say start with a plan. So oftentimes what can kind of make this fun is if family members can get together and help, even make this a party and have people who might want things out of the house to be there to say, oh, do you want this beautiful red vase that mom had? And we could say, oh, yes, three of us are very interested in that vase. Or that's the most hideous thing in the world. None of us wants that vase. So it's a great way to quickly find out which things are going to be keepers, which things are going to be fought over, and which things are just ready to be gotten rid of. So sometimes people do this all at once. Sometimes they do it in steps. Today we're going to go through the attic. Today we're going to go through the basement, that type of a thing. And just depending on the emotional attachment and the volume of stuff, this can take actually quite a long time. So think about how you're going to do it. Maybe you're going to take pictures and send them to other people, but think about how to do it in a way that's sustainable and makes sense for your family dynamic. One of the first things that you should do when you go into the home is one of my favorite things: get that documentation, get out your file. And if your parents have important documents, depending on who's paying bills and how that's working, make sure that you're collecting things that might be important to the operation of their home. In addition, as you're saving things and deciding what to keep, you don't necessarily want to throw away things that it might turn out that you need either to help them manage the home or in the event of their death. So look for files and things that might be important and keep those in a special safe place, as well as any documents that you might want to keep for sentimental reasons. These might be old photos, university graduation certificates, love letters, things like that. Sometimes the very most precious items come in a little file folder and you don't even know what they have until you open it. So just keep a lookout for documents, photos, and other things that are important to you and the family, but don't just throw away piles of paper without knowing what's going on. Step 3, the next step, is to identify items that are of sentimental value. So this could be, the hand knit sweater that your great grandma made. This could be pictures that you drew as a kid, or it could be things that are sentimental and resellable, like mom's wedding ring and that type of thing. So try to identify things that might be sentimental to you or other people who are involved in the disbursement of the estate. If there are items of sentimental value and there's more than one person who wants them, I suggest putting them in sort of I'm imagining like a hula hoop, a circle where these are the things that we're all we all have an interest in, and kind of saving those to the end so that people can raise their hand and say, yep, I'm interested. It goes into the circle. And then maybe there's an equitable way to divide that up. Maybe it's round robin. You pick something, I pick something, you pick something, I pick something. Maybe it's based on price. There could be a number of ways to do it, but just rather than having the fight about it now, let's just collect all those items, put them in the pile, work on processing and sorting through. I have a beautiful child's rocking chair that is so small it fits maybe a 2-year-old and not a 5-year-old. 1-year-olds can't sit up. So it has like a very limited use, and we've kept this, and it was like goes on through the generations in my family. But if at some point I died and my kids did not want to keep that, I wouldn't feel badly. Further generations and heirs should not feel guilted into keeping or retaining these things. So maybe there's another way that we can document them. Maybe we put a picture in the picture album, and this is a special handmade chair by great grandpa so-so, and this year this was the beautiful picture that Kelly drew in her first day of kindergarten. There are a lot of ways to document and save things and respectfully acknowledge the role that they played in our lives, while not just taking them home and stuffing them into our own attic or basement when we get back. Step 4, after you've gotten rid of your documents, identified the sentimental items, let's see what's practical and what we can downsize. So if you're moving to a new location, let's say you're going to a condo from the big family home, you might want to keep some of your best furniture and bring that with you. However, sometimes those big giant sectional couches that are so fun to watch TV on in your giant rec room basement don't fit in your little tiny condo, and you might want different furniture that's more appropriately sized to the new location. So think about the plan for what you're going to take and where you're going to put it in your new place, as well as who might be able to use the things that you have at home already. Step 5, if there are valuable items involved, such as cars, jewelry, coin and stamp collections, real estate, tools, etc., it might be worth having some of those professionally valued. So, I might say, hey, I love grandma's ring. That's so beautiful. And I might wear it all the time thinking that it's like a $200 costume jewelry piece. Come to find out, it's like a $10,000 sapphire, and I've been wearing it out in the garden. Right? So we don't want that to happen. And we also don't want it to be like, why did Emily get the $10,000 sapphire and Laura, whose fingers are bigger and it didn't fit, didn't get anything, right? That's not fair either. So if we think there are items that are potentially of value, whether it's the old beater car that's going to the grandkids that turned out to be worth $7,000, we want to know what's going on so that we can track. And if we are giving large gifts to people, that we are aware of that and that things get distributed equitably so there aren't fights and resentments down the road. Why did they get a car and I didn't get anything? Well, you already have a car. Well, I could have used the $7,000 we could have got when we sold that. We don't want these types of situations to come up. And unfortunately, there's a big potential when money is involved for relationships to become strained. So really doing things by the book and bending over backwards to be fair and equitable is really important as you're distributing things to avoid fights. So 6, after you've kind of taken out the things that you wanted and decided how those are going to get split up, you want to look at how are we going to get rid of a lot of the other things in the estate. Sometimes you can sell it off onesie twosie on Craigslist, and that might be a good idea for certain things like cars or the extra refrigerator in the garage or something like that. But oftentimes there are just so many items and it's so nebulous what they're worth that the best thing to do is to bring in an estate sale auction company or a liquidation company that can just get everything sold. And typically they work on a commission basis. So they want to see a certain value in the items of the home. They don't want it to just be $200 worth of yucky stuff that you could have given away for free by the side of the road. They want it to be enough value there so that it's worth their time and energy to bring in staff, to organize and price everything, to attend the sale, to advertise the sale. So $10,000 is a number that I've heard recently as far as what they like to value the contents of the home at. If you don't have that much, or you've taken out a lot of stuff so there's not as much left, then you can potentially get an estate sale liquidator who will come in and just get everything sold at no matter what price. And they'll take out the garbage on the way out. But at the end of the day, most people value speed and convenience over maximizing, did I sell this ashtray for $5 or just $3? Like, could have done better if I had been there at the yard sale negotiating on that myself, right? It's just, there's too much. It's too overwhelming. It's a busy time. We don't have time to do all of this. So think about interviewing some companies. I'm happy to put you on to some places that I can tell you about, but get some companies in there, talk to them, get some quotes, find out how they price and what they think they can do with the contents of your home. And importantly, what are they going to do with the items that don't sell? And in many cases, they can haul away the junk or the garbage that doesn't sell, so you're left with a clean home. And now we can talk about getting the house ready to sell. But what we don't want is just a house filled with junk, so that didn't sell, and the broken chair that nobody wanted, even for $4. So in those cases, if the estate sale company does not take care of that, you want to arrange for a junk hauling service to just come in and empty out anything from the basement, the attic, and all of the rooms that has not yet sold. Once the home is empty, you'll be in good shape, and it really feels like a burden has been lifted off your shoulders. So don't feel bad about, donating items to charity. Habitat Restore is a great one for furniture in the area. We've got St. Vincent de Paul, Salvation Army, Goodwill, Deseret Industries. There are a lot of places that will take used household items. So if you want to donate anything you can before you have the junk hauling service, feel free to do that. But it's funny, even though we've all seen those hoarder shows on TV where they stack up newspapers and candy wrappers and they can't even walk through the house, most people don't live like that. But a lot of people live with things that they kept, right? The pile of papers that you don't know what it's for, the newspapers that are not up to the ceiling, but there's a big stack there because they just hadn't taken it out to the recycling, or maybe they were saving it to put under their bird cage, right? You don't know, you just know that there's a lot of stuff that you don't want. So having a plan to get rid of all of that stuff should certainly be a part of the process. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what questions you have in the comments. I'm always happy to help, or you can reach out and speak with me directly through my website. It's EstateSaleHomesNW. My name is Emily Cressey. I'm a real estate agent in the Seattle area, and I love helping people who are selling homes in Washington State, whether they live locally or out of the area. We have many real estate services to help you and can make recommendations to service providers who will get the job done every step of the way. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.